Alright, so I'm hungry and I'm pissed off. So let's not mess around anymore. Let's get right into this stuff. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. So, decoding. So it's strange. Yeah, as I always say, these pictures hold more than the hieroglyphic written word, as it would seem, shows and tells us. Picture tells 1,000 words, kind of thing. So yeah, looking at Thoth. Now, it's weird. The moment, you all think he's like gods or gods. Basically, like, everyone acts like they're immortals. Like, time's running out and shit. The clock is always ticking. Like, say hello to the angels of change. But yeah, okay, so what we're gonna do is, what I've been on about are these floral things. Like, there's so many clues, like you got those light bulbs. When I say the word power plant, I'm not kidding around. Like, these things like resemble, like, Dendara light bulb looks like a flower. Like, have you not put two and two together? Like, sometimes it doesn't even make four, but anyway. So, being onto this, relating depictions and artifacts in Tutankhamun's tomb as the closest and last linked from Egypt to not just to present day, but certain art and symbolism found in Da Vinci's work even. So basically taking one art form and alchemizing it into another, which gives it a mask and a cover. And it's not just done willy-nilly, you know what I mean? It's like there's specific meaning. It's like, or just take the blue pill, wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. Or you could suss out the masters of reality and stuff. So yeah, that's your options. Like, there are formulas even in the abstract. You're not just floating through a dream. I know in lucid dreams you do have certain control, but yeah, there are certain realities and certain forces that guide. Anyway, so two sides of awareness, and when you're approaching a god, as we're looking at here, and get into the nature of this god and how it was created, because we're not messing around anymore. Like, yeah, this is it. Like, yeah, nature of the god. So yeah, approaching the god, you'll see, like, as I showed in the last depiction, like, obviously we're approaching a god here too, the god Thoth, that everyone seems to be obsessed with, possibly because of his connection to Hermes in Greek mythology. Yeah, similarities, but that's the nature of all mythology. There's across cultures. So yeah, it's interesting, the frog creature in the Dendara light bulb, his presentation is like two sharp objects. So take that into perspective. On the far left or right on the viewer's side of the Dendara light bulb, I cannot bring up every picture for you, like, you have to do your own research. So yeah, Da Vinci. Now, we're looking, like, I want to show you a little technique called spot the difference we learn in kindergarten, right? Now, obviously there's two sides to this painting, right? But despite the two sides, Jesus remains centerpiece. Okay? So we're entering a realm of mind once again. And what is mind? Oh no, not matter. So you have to unmask the characters as well, even in this. And, like, there's certain symbolism, the point. There's negative, like, aspects, like money, the Judas with the money coin, this knife. So in the original depictions, like, it was attached. So if you know your Masonic, even symbolism, like the hand under the chin, here we go, like these two consorting here, very mysteriously, on the opposite side of Jesus, which holds, like, the more ideal traits. So, yeah. So we're looking at, one side, even of awareness, has a stain on it. So even, you see that if you want to think about what Da Vinci thought of even Masonism, like, take a look at that on the negative side of the negative aspects. It speaks volumes, and the reason for that is it's not any pure bias or discrimination. It's based on the fact that it's a religion at its core, and eventually, like, free is, like, comes out of the fucking arena altogether. Like, it's a trap and they suck you in, like any other fucking bullshit religion. So yeah, he's made a point of that. So he's just pure wisdom style. He's not, because any religion becomes a dogma, and this dude here was like, trying to free us, not put us in a freaking another slave system. Like, there is ways to freedom. We don't even know what freedom is or means, but you go about your way anyway, like, looking for it. So, masks. I guess I'm going over everything really quickly, just if you've recently joined us, because I'm going to be focusing a lot more into this, like, bringing back all this shit. So, the thing is, with the tomb of Tutankhamun, see, there's a mystery. Sometimes these leaders have replacements, or like, what do they call it? Yeah, just like someone that looks like them or something, I don't know. But anyway, like, yeah, there's Tutankhamun and Tutankhaten. Like, okay, there's a name change, but I'm going to show you, like, why this face doesn't represent the actual, like, if you look at what the actual mummy, it's not the face, it's something else, and it's supposed to represent basically like a camouflage kind of situation. Like, we are dealing with masks here, and appearances aren't everything. So we go to the story. This tells a bit of the story, two sides of awareness, and we see one of the at the base of the flower head, it's broken. So it's like an injury or a fatal wound after the fact, because we're looking at a plucked flower and it's being held, like, in, whatever, somewhere else in space and time, I guess. It's what you are from the source. There's no real separation, but, like, anyway. So yeah, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at a broken gene. Okay, and we're going to go into the genetic code into this as well, and the genetic formulas, and the plant representations as such. So where was I? Okay, I'm going to spot the difference next. Like as you'll see, and we're dealing with fertility as well. In the other dimensional aspects, you'll see hidden phallical images. So it's interesting because it tells the story of what happened at the death of Tutankhamun. Analyzation or scans of the mummy shows a break at the base of the spine, and there was one neck, like around the cerebrum area, like a head wound, and they were wondering if that was the cause of death. And but yeah, it's after the fact. He was already dead. So we're looking at a second death, which also alchemically turned into text in the Book of Revelations. Because this era was a kind of apocalyptic era as well. Around the end of the dynastic era of Egypt. A lot of cataclysms and changes and exoduses. So Sigmund Freud was aware of Akhenaten, and he also believed that there was a connection there to the Hebrew people. So that's quite well known. It's pretty much accepted, but it's just not talked about. So yeah, we're looking at a broken gene there, and an approach. And as we can see in the stingers and on her, not just Queen Bee. There's more than one sting. Look, there's a few. Just like as you go up here, in the Old Testament it talks of the two judging Aaron. They do something where they get these floral rods and they place him in a certain place, and Aaron's rod has all the three stages of fruition: budded, blossom and bloomed. And whoever rod was like, yeah, did that, it was going to be the sign, just to make sure kind of thing, like just some sort of physical grasping with the abstract, I guess, because you need that a lot of the time. Well, sometimes we don't need our props. So I'll finish off on the last spot, the difference, like just to show it's a definite theme, and the other videos show the philosophy behind the techniques as well. Sfumato, Renaissance painting technique. So yeah, we're going to look at probably the two, just to assert once again what we're dealing with. There's two of these paintings, the Virgin on the Rocks or something. So this is the first one. It's all pale and shit. See how they like nearly look like freaking vampires or something. And the church was pissed off with Da Vinci, like they were like, nah, this is too fucking, like, make it a bit more warm. Put some light on it. And like, so he was forced to do this one. So that's why there's two of them. Could have got thrown in prison or some shit for that. Like, there's always in contention with these freaks. So, yeah, we see, like, living on the edge. He does relate himself in the line, because, you'd see the Jesus figure. I'm pretty sure that one's Jesus. I know, like Jesus and John. And he uses a time, like I think he does in, I don't know, yeah, he might use time elements, because you got to look at the age difference and spot the difference. Like here, because you got the red and green angels that Da Vinci painted, so he's using colour in here, but no wings. Here it's like a ghostly kind of figure, like some dead angel thing. So yeah, there's earth powers there. But this is weird because it's like I don't know, for all sorts of reasons. I might get into it later. It's very confusing because I think he goes even more subversive in ways, like in certain ways. Just describe it, like this is pretty much subversive, like how he blurs everything in. It shows everything like it's connected despite form, which is like an optical thing, like even for observing reality, not focusing on the objects, as we've discussed. So it shows yeah, pretty much everything in degradation, including the so-called divine physical line. So he goes into beyond physical as well, goes into like quantum shit, as we've discussed. Something beyond, blood. Because this is always the thing, like even in this, it's shown like, the question of the divine bloodline, like where is it, is it in danger, like what's going on with it? And it was pretty much the same in question after people were, and that's why these other stories developed. I tend to go with like the most original stories as we see here, because as it goes on it just dilutes into dissolution as in entropy everything or it transforms. So yeah, we're looking at two gods, like even this, like this isn't Tutankhamun, this is more like Tutankhaten or however you would say it. Tutankhaten, yeah, sounds right. Need some water or something. So that's more a depiction of that, and there is a division, a dividing line, despite the natural crack, which is another metaphor. Like I'm pretty sure they made it, like I mean, it's bound to break along the seal, so yeah. And that's the thing, like this gene, even in us, it is a broken gene, and this is why there's a separation and between this sort of species and that, like it's sketchy, you know what I mean, like genetically, because it's still subject to the same forces of the physical world that we all are. Yeah, that's why. And you'll see only this crossed arm, like this see how it's folded over? It's like mixed up, which is pretty much like an Assyrian symbolism or state of death with the crossed arms over the mummy. So even pretty much the middle class, only of their tomb depictions I've seen this kind of thing. It's always, usually with the gods, it's the arms are never crossed like that in life. Unless you're viewing into, then there's a certain type of X factor there, which is the same as, I guess, reaching these other states becomes so yeah, old V Empire. So that's a bit of a 20-minute brush over and describing where I'm probably going to go with these videos, because I like to do them, I like to, you know, keep these things for myself as well. So yeah, until next time.